Hello guys and welcome back to another Thaumcraft 4.2 tutorial. So today we're going to be covering two very simple items, but I'm going to go into a little bit of depth on them. So you guys have got a bit of a better understanding about them. We're going to be covering the Thermostatic Harness and the Thermostatic Girdle as well. These are two pretty cool things and you'll see exactly why in just a second. So I'm going to first of all show you how to make these things. I'm going to have to keep an eye on this one because it is actually a high instability. So this is the very first high instability one that we're doing. And it's a little bit odd as well. As you can see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 items, which means nothing can really be opposite anything. It's all opposite void spaces pretty much. Which makes it a little bit more tricky. So I've got 12 pedestals set up around here, and I've done the best that I can on this to try and not make it sort of too samey. Like I've got opposite there would kind of be a gap, opposite there's kind of a gap, opposite there's kind of a gap, and then opposite there's a gap, and opposite there's still another gap. So I've tried to do it as best as I can. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but it is, I think it's decent enough for us to give it a go. So also with this, you're going to need 16 ITER, 32 Machina, 32 Potentia, and 32 Volatus. So we're going to give this a go and see if we get any bad effects off of this. Because I haven't really shown you any bad effects from infusions yet. So it'd be quite nice to be able to show you that. And this is going to take a little bit to go. So the longer the infusion as well, the more chance it has of something going wrong. As you saw there already, the redstone comparators have popped off. So we're going to have to replace that one on there like that. And we're just going to have to keep an eye on this and make sure nothing bad pops off. So we've got some flux as well, which I'll show you how to get rid of in today, actually. Quite a nifty little way of getting rid of it. One thing that I should note is when you do infusions, I didn't mention this in the infusion video, try and do them outside, because sometimes it'll drop liquid like that, sometimes it'll drop a gas. If it drops a gas, it'll get stuck on your ceiling. There is a way to get rid of it, but it will get stuck on your ceiling until you're at that advanced point in Thaumcraft, which is a little bit later down the line. Also, it's just easier. It'll just go up into the air and disappear forever if you do it outside, so that's a much easier way of doing it. How much have you got left? Come on, you ain't got much. There you go. It's starting to pull items in now. Please say we didn't lose a bit there. That's the thing, with these you can never ever tell if you've lost an item or not as well, if it's popped off or blown up, and you just got to hope for the best really. Oh, got a bit of an explosion thing going on there. So it's still pulling items in, are we good? No, it's just popped that iron ingot off. Not good at all. There we go, we got the iron ingot on there and it pulled it in and sucked it in. And as you can see, if things go wrong and start popping off, it will suck in some excess essentia. As you saw there, it pulled a little bit off in the end there. We finally got this thing here. We've got flux all over the place. So let me show you how to get rid of that. Literally, to get rid of the liquid, just put blocks down anywhere. Shift them on top of the pedestals and then just remove the block. And it will remove that flux goo for you. If you walk through it, I do believe you do get some flux flu, which you don't really want. That stuff's bad. So we're going to get rid of all that, and that, and that, and that, and that, and that. Cool. Also, if you have candles, it will sort of knock them off as well, which is a bit of pain in the butt. But unfortunately, it's something you got to live with. So it doesn't. I can't actually see where we've lost this one from. Everything is looking pretty smexical right now. I don't know, we'll leave that one off. Cool, so that's how you get rid of that. So let's have a look at the Thermostatic Harness and what it does. You finally managed to unlock the secret of flight. You have created a harness that anchors itself to the thermic field using thermostatic energy, allowing you to defy gravity. You think quantums and quirks might have also be involved somehow. Usually the only vis required to power this harness is added during its creation process. Instead, the fuel it requires for flight is raw potentia. Simply right click while holding the harness to insert filled jars. Pressing H while wearing the harness activates or deactivates it. While active, the harness will constantly use potentia. It can be enchanted with the haste enchant to increase the speed at which you move while flying. The harness will not reduce your block breaking speed while you're flying with it. So this is probably the coolest part of this. First things first though, we are going to need to put some potentia in a jar and pick that jar up. So I can't remember how you refill it. Let's just have a look again. Simply right click holding the harness to insert filled jars. Okay, so right click, it'll come up with this little GUI, take your potentia and place it in the middle there. So I think, let's just have a look again. Pressing H while wearing the harness. Doesn't seem to work. Right, let me just change the controls for that one. Okay, I'm back. I've changed it to the key binding I. So hopefully this works. Let's just go into game mode 0. And we're going to give this a go. There you go. As you can see, when it does the thing, it increases my field of view a little bit. As we fly, we don't fly very fast. But there is a way to change this, and this is where the Thermostatic Harness comes in. So it will be using potentia. You can see the little bar on the left there of the side of my screen. You can see that it's got a little animation on there, and that little bar will slowly drain as you use potentia, and then you just hit I. I'm hitting I. You guys hit H, which is your default, and it will disable the thing for you. So let's go back to game mode 1. Cool, so that's that. So you guys probably want to move a little bit faster than that. It's not a very fast speed to be going at. So let's have a look at the Thaumostatic girdle. This girdle is designed to be used with the Thermostatic Harness. On its own, it has very little lifting power. It has just enough to prevent most fall damage. When worn with the harness, however, it greatly increases the speed at which you're able to fly this. The only drawback is this harness will consume slightly more fuel than normal. So this is a very high instability as well, so we got to be very careful. This is very, very high. You're going to have to take some air, ITER, potentia, and volatus with this one. I'm just going to refill potentia, which I've got down here because I've only got 38 in there, and we're going to refill some of the volatus as well, which is over here, which has only got 32 left in it. I think ITER is pretty good. And then the last one was air, which I think is also looking pretty nifty down there. Yeah, it's looking absolutely fine. So let's grab these bits and pieces, and we're going to make this one here, and I'll show you exactly how much faster it makes you. So you need a mundane belt, not too hard to make. I've shown you how to make them before. You need an air shard on the top and an earth shard on the bottom, because air is above you, earth is below you when you're flying. You're then going to need to place... This is all out of sync. I don't like it. Right, let's place you there and you there, and then we're going to place this one here and this one here, and that should be it. So gold opposite gold, earth opposite terra, and then feather opposite feather over there. Cool. And then we're going to grab our wand again, and we're going to hit this thing like so, and it's going to do its magic. So as you see, it's going to start pulling all the stuff in. And it's already knocking stuff off. This is how bad, very unstable recipes can get. It will just start knocking things off from the get-go. As you can see, it's just completely evaporated that one. So we're going to have to get another piece and place that on there. Hopefully this goes without a problem. Yeah, it's just going to keep knocking that piece off apparently. Let's just grab a stack of them. Right, everything else is looking good at the minute. Everything else is staying on there, which is kind of what we want. It's got a little bit more. See, it hasn't even finished pulling yet, and it's already knocking stuff off. You're going to have to, if you don't want that to happen, you're going to have to increase your stability on this a lot more. For this demonstration purposes, though, I'm not too bothered, and I'd rather show you guys sort of how all this thing works. So as you can see, it's going around. It's just knocked some gold off. Let's put that back on. Taking that gold, it's going to take that there. Then it's going to take the feather again, and then it's going to move around to the gold finally. Hopefully it doesn't knock anything else off. And there you go, we got ourselves a thermostatic girdle. So this thing, let's just go back into game mode 0, which is our survival thing. I believe this thing is equipped through baubles, which will go in your belt slot like so. And then we're going to hit I again. We're going to jump up flying. And as you can see, we can fly a little bit faster than before. Not a great deal faster, but just a little bit. And obviously this is going to use a lot more potentia, essentia, which we've got stored in the harness. And I believe it goes there. Yeah, it can't go anywhere else, surely. Yeah, as you can see, we're going really, really slowly there. That's me sprinting. And then we place that one there on, and that's me going sprinting now. So it does greatly increase the speed. You're still not like supersonic fast though. But I think you can enchant it with haste. I think it was saying that. Have a look here. Nope. Okay, we can enchant the girdle itself with haste, which is pretty cool. And then that's going to increase your speed even more. So if you use all that together, you put maximum haste on it. Which I'll show you how to do in another thing. It's going to be a whole thing on the enchantments. Haste though, you can go all the way up to haste 3, which will cost you 15 levels and a little bit Salus Mundus and Nitor. Not too bad at all. You got to go through the levels, obviously. But that is going to be it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys very, very much for watching. I hope you have yourselves a very fantastic day. Look how cool it looks as well. Look at it. I can't activate and deactivate it. Let's just quickly go back. And it does a really cool animation when it's on as well. It looks so rad. But yeah, so thank you guys very, very much for watching. Make sure you hit that like button if you found this video useful and you liked it and all that good stuff. And make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And have yourselves a very fantastic day. I'll see all your beautiful faces in the next video. Goodbye.